Hello, students. In today's lecture, we are going to study the merits and demerits of MBO, that is Management by Objectives. So, the first merit is that MBO develops result oriented philosophy. Students, MBO is about managing yourself by achieving the objectives, right? So MBO believes in results, it doesn't believe in excuses. That means none of your employees should give any kind of excuse regarding non achievement of the objectives, right? That means it believes in result oriented, we want result. That is what MBO believes in. So because of this, MBO has created a result oriented philosophy, or it creates result oriented philosophy in the organization, where each and every individual is striving hard to achieve its objectives within specific period of time. So it becomes the way of life, it becomes habitual for its employees all the time to give its result by achievement of its objectives. And as we saw in yesterday's lecture, that every employee is accountable to his superior. If you are unable to achieve the objective, you are answerable to the superior. What are the reasons why you were unable to achieve the objective, right? So because of this accountability, your employee becomes more aware and alert. And as we saw yesterday, that because of self control and self discipline, and because of dedication towards his work, he works very hard day and night to achieve the best results by making use of his potential and his intelligence. Okay, so MBO creates a result oriented philosophy, or develops that kind of philosophy in the organization. This is the first merit of MBO. Then second one is basis for organizational goals. Now yesterday also I made it clear that whenever you're making, or whenever you're setting objectives, you're setting objective at individual level, as a team you're setting those objectives, at departmental level, and at organizational level as a whole, right? So once an individual achieve the individual objective, his group objectives, his department objectives, automatically the organizational goals are achieved. So MBO creates a base where individual objectives are set at every level, objectives are set, and because of this, ultimately what happens is that the organizational goals are achieved. That is the second benefit which we get because of MBO. Then next is facilitates control. Of course, controlling plays very important function. It's a important managerial function in any organization. So in controlling, we see that some standards are set, then you compare your actual performance with standard performance, right? And if there are any deviations, then you make certain changes and see to it that these deviations do not occur in future, and then you achieve your results. This is the process of controlling, which you have learned it in your first year also. Now because of MBO, what happens, MBO is not only about setting the objectives, but it is about continuously monitoring and evaluating the performance of an employee. And MBO doesn't accept excuses. The process will come to an end only and only when your individuals achieve your objectives, right? So here the controlling function is thoroughly followed in MBO, where your objectives are set, your periodic performance is undertaken, periodic review is undertaken, and lastly, if you achieve the objective, you will be rewarded. And if you don't achieve, then you'll be punished for the same. This is the process of MBO. So definitely it facilitates the function of controlling. That is the third merit, we get it because of MBO. Next, fourth one is raises employee morale. Now, what is morale? Morale is your attitude towards the organization. Now, students, this has to be kept into mind that every employee must have a positive attitude towards its organization. And when your morale is high, it means that you are having good feelings, good attitude towards your organization. So, every business organization try to see to it that my employees are having good morale and their morale increases day by day. Now, because of MBO, what happens? The potential of individual is being fully utilized. It leads to self development, self control, self discipline. Your decision making power increases. As we saw in yesterday's lecture, that because of MBO, variety of shades are being added in your personality, which leads to self development, right? So personality development, which we call. So, what happens because of this? Your employees get the feeling that being a part of an organization where MBO is being practiced, my personality is getting developed day by day. And this is only because of the organization in which I am working. Because of MBO, I am able to achieve my targets. I am able to take my decisions on my own. I am able to communicate properly with my superior. I'm having good relation, maintaining good relations with each and everybody. I'm able to solve my problems on my own. Because of this feeling gets developed in an employee, and he thinks that my intelligence, my potential is being fully utilized in this organization for achievement of objectives, where my objectives are very challenging. And students, every employee wants some challenging work where his potential is being fully utilized. Okay, so because of MBO, you get an opportunity. You means employees get an opportunity to make use of their intelligence and talent for the benefit of the organization. Okay, so this increases their morale, where they get a positive attitude towards organization. And when once your morale is increased, your increased or your positive attitude is reflected in your work, right? So the person who is having a high morale will definitely give his best, will work with full dedication, and he will try to give his 100% always. Okay, so because of MBO, what is the benefit which we get is that it raises employee morale. Okay, then come towards the next point. It motivates the employees. Again, in continuation with morale, motivates the employees means what? The employees get motivated to get inspired to achieve their objectives, and after the achievement of objective, MBO believes in reward punishment approach, where if you achieve your objectives, you will be rewarded with promotion most probably, and if you don't achieve your objective, you will be punished, right? So reward punishment approach is being followed. Therefore, an employee gets motivated to achieve his objectives at its best and within specific period of time. So definitely it inspires the employees to work very hard with full dedication. Then next one is facilitates objective appraisal. Now, as I said, that the performance of every employee is being appraised, which is called as performance appraisal. So this performance appraisal is based on the objective. That means if your employee is successful in achieving the objective, then he is supposed to be a good employee, right? So in MBO, it believes in objective appraisal. Then the next point is facilitates personal leadership. Now, what happens because of MBO? Employees' personality gets differentiated, as I said. It develops their personality, communication skills, then coordination skill, coordination of resources for purpose of achievement of objective. These people start interacting with each other, especially with superior, while discussing the objectives during periodic reviews. So meeting of mind takes place. So because of all these things, the personal leadership qualities get developed among individual. Then again, we saw that an individual decision making power also increases, which is very important quality of a leader, that you should be able to take your own decision, right? So a leader should not be confused. So in such a way, these subordinates start getting different leadership skills among themselves. And this is a kind of a training, because today's subordinate is tomorrow's superior. So definitely that benefit an employee gets. The next one is fosters team spirit. Of course, for achievement of objectives, an individual all alone, it is not his cup of tea. He can't do anything all alone, right? So he is dependent upon everybody in the organization. For setting his objective, he has to interact with the superior. And then for achievement of objective, he is dependent upon his colleagues, his subordinates. So it's a teamwork, right? So this team spirit gets developed because of MBO. You can't work all alone. And last benefit which we get is it develops self discipline. As I said that it MBO brings about a disciplined behavior in your organization. A good work culture is being developed where objectives are set and every individual is trying very hard to achieve its objectives. Because of this, a discipline is being well maintained in the organization. So, moving towards the demerits of MBO, the first one is MBO process is time consuming. Of course, it's very time consuming process, because you have to set your objectives, then you'll have to continue. And objective setting is not a it's not a job which has to be done in few hours. It takes so many days to set your objectives, because the whole organizational work depends upon what kind of objectives you're setting at individual level and group level. So definitely it's a time consuming process where several meetings have to be undertaken with your subordinates. You have to consider the ability and capability of that individual, and then you are going to set the objectives. Then after that, the second process where you go for a periodic review. At that time, if you notice that your subordinate is unable to achieve the objective, then again you will have to make alterations, amendments in the objective, and then again you have to reset them. So it's a time consuming process. Definitely it takes a lot of time. Then second one is a reward punishment approach. Because of reward, definitely your employees are motivated, inspired. So they work very hard with dedication to achieve their objective for getting the reward, and rewards are generally in the form of promotion. But these are the things, or this is suitable for those employees who are able to achieve the objectives. But what about them, those employees who are unable to achieve the objectives? They'll be punished in one way or the other. So this punishment will definitely put your employees continuously under pressure. So that is another demerit of MBO. Then the third one is lots of paperwork. So, of course, right from setting of objectives, in one setting itself, you can't set your objectives. Several meetings have to be conducted, then periodic review after a specific period of time. So, this requires a lot of paperwork. You have to write down so many things, you have to maintain the documents as an evidence right from the beginnings to prove that how the objectives were set, whether your individual is able to achieve it. If yes, go ahead. If no, then what action is being taken, what kind of guidance is being provided by the superior. How your leader is being working on achievement of objectives, what are the difficulties and problems faced by the subordinate whenever you are achieving your objectives, and what kind of solution was suggested by the superior. All this process requires lot of paperwork. So that is another demerit. Then the next point is successful only when top management is committed. Of course, MBO becomes, or its success depends upon how seriously your top management takes it or considers it. If your top management is very much committed, rigorously they are implementing it, then definitely you will be successful. So the success rate depends upon how seriously your top management has taken MBO and how they are implementing it step by step, or as per their wish, what are they doing. So their success depends upon top management's commitment. And then next one is to achieve objectives. People may use unethical and immoral ways. So this is another danger over here, where, as I said, that second demerit is reward punishment approach, right? So people are happy about the reward. They're ready to do the hard work to achieve their objectives, but this is about few people who are able to achieve the objectives, but those who are unable to achieve the objectives, they will be continuously under the pressure of getting being punished. So punishment may be in any form, which is going to be a huge loss for an employee. So many employees may think that it's better to go for some unethical and immoral ways, which is against the organizational um, um, ethics. So this may happen. So that's one of the danger, or this is one of the demerit of MBO. Next is problem of coordination. As I said, that achieving objective is not a one man show. One individual cannot himself achieve the objective. It requires a lot of cooperation from all the people. At the same time, it requires coordination from all the people and all the departments and all the resources. So some of them may, I mean, it's not possible that every individual is capable of having a good coordination with the other thing and with other departments and other individuals. So that may be that problem may occur, which may create a hurdle in achievement of objectives. Then next one is pressure oriented. Of course, MBO is pressure oriented because here continuously your employees are under pressure, where they are monitored by their superior. There has been a continuous evaluation and performance appraisal of those employees. So continuously, consistently, somebody is evaluating your performance, and you're continuously asking about what about your objectives, whether you are able to achieve the objectives or no. So it creates a tension kind of environment. The employee feels very pressured whenever working in a organization where MBO is practiced seriously. So it creates problem, and because of that tension or pressure, it may hamper his mental and physical health. Now, that is one of the demerit. And last one is trained managers are not available. Of course, if you want to make MBO successful in the organization, you require trained managers, because the role of a manager, the role of a superior, the role of a leader is very important in success of MBO, because right from beginning, from setting of objective till achievement of objective and till rewarding your employees, the whole process is very um skillful process, where you have to handle your employees in a very tactful manner. While setting the objective also, you have to consider the ability of that employee, and so on. The whole process we have studied up till now. So you require trained managers to do that, who are experienced, who know how to handle MBO, how to handle the employees, how to get work done from these employees, how to motivate them. So these are the required things. If you want to make MBO successful, you require trained managers. So in today's lecture, we saw the merits and demerits of MBO. With this, I conclude with today's lecture. Thank you.